for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey Alex, how much do you know about Veterans Day?
Well, I know that there's people serving, and I know that we get a day off, but other than that, not very much.
That's right. Not many people know either. Let's go to Camden and Derwin for more info.
Hey guys, I'm Camden.
And I'm Derwin.
And today we're going to be doing a segment on Veterans Day. Today we begin our story by telling you about why we celebrate Veterans Day. We celebrate Veterans Day and want to express our deepest gratitude to the men and women who have served and continue to serve in the United States Armed Forces, including the families of the soldiers.
One thing you should know is that Veterans Day was originally called Armistice Day at the end of World War I. The Armistice Day of November 11th, 1918 was signed in France, ending the fight between the Allies, which included the US and Germany.
Did you know that in 1954, after two more wars, veteran service organizations persuaded the 83rd U.S. Congress to amend the 1938 Act commemorating Armistice Day to change it to Veterans Day, honoring all American veterans of all wars?
Another thing you should know is that Veterans Day honors all men and women who have fought for the United States of America. The U.S. the Armed Forces consists of 6 branches, which are the Air Force, the Army, the Coast Guard, the Marine Corps, the Navy, and the Space Force.
An interesting thing you definitely want to hear is that the U.S. Space Force is the newest addition to the U.S. Armed Forces at the direction of U.S. President Donald Trump. The Pentagon developed the U.S. Space Force, which was signed into law on December 20th, 2019.
One last thing you should know is that the largest number of U.S. soldiers to fight in a war was during America's participation in World War II. More than 16 million U.S. service members fought around the world. The Department of Veterans Affairs estimates the following number of people who have served in each war. The Vietnam War, 8.7 million. The Korean War, 5.7 million. World War I, 4.7 million. Desert Shield/Desert Storm, 2.2 million. Civil War, 2.2 million.
Spanish-American War, 306,000. War of 1812, 286,000. American Revolution, 217,000. Indian Wars, 106,000. And the Mexican War, 78,000. And because the global war on terror is an ongoing conflict, estimates for these service members are not included. To conclude, Veterans Day is a very big day in America that we should all celebrate and respect, and hopefully you learn more about Veterans Day. And thank you for watching this story on Veterans Day. And back to you, Anchor.
Wow, that's a lot I didn't know about Veterans Day.
Yeah, I learned a lot too.
Speaking of holidays, how many holidays/events do you think there are in November?
Probably like 4.
There's a lot more than you think. Here, come with me and Camden, and let's go check them out.
This time of the year right now is so boring.
What do you mean?
Nothing to do, nothing to celebrate.
Well, maybe you're just looking in the wrong areas.
What do you mean?
There are tons of holidays and different events every single day.
Really?
Yeah, everything from World Vegan Day to National Peanut Butter Lovers Month, and even today there was a National Sandwich Day.
I knew there was Veterans Day on the 11th and Thanksgiving on the 30th, but that is a lot of stuff I didn't know existed.
Yeah, actually, I was kind of thinking that we should interview some students to see what they know.
Okay, sounds like a good idea to me.
My name's Liam.
I'm going to be asking you a question. So how many holidays do you think are in November?
Like 9.
Okay, there's actually 165.
There's not even that many days in November.
I know, it's quite insane how many there are. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Camden,
My name's Anthony.
and I'm going to be asking you a question. So in November, which day do you think has the most holidays?
21.
Okay, it's actually November 1st, and there's 35. I know, it's a lot.
In one day?
Yeah,
It's more than I can count.
exactly. Thank you.
Wow, that was a lot.
And let's go see what's in store for us.
Back to you, anchors.
Wow, that's a lot of new things about November that I didn't know. Speaking of new, have you heard of new counselors we have at South Valley?
I've heard of them, but the only one I know is Miss Howard from Impact. But other than that, I really don't know them.
Yeah, same. But do you think people would be more comfortable going to see them if they knew more about them?
I would, so yeah, definitely.
All right, let's go to me and Jaden, and we'll go see them. Hey, Eagles, I'm Grayson.
And I'm Jaden.
We interviewed the counselors so people can know them better.
We believe if people knew the counselors better, they would be less nervous to go and talk to them.
Let's go see the interview. We're here with
Mrs. Christie.
Mrs. Howard.
How many years of experience do you have in schools?
This is my 14th year teaching in schools.
And this is my 16th year.
What's your dream car?
I'm currently driving my dream car in a sweet minivan.
I dream bigger than that. I love a beautiful Rolls Royce, you know, with a driver, preferably.
For sure.
what's your favorite food?
I would say either, I could always go for pizza or Chinese food, probably.
I would say my go-to meal is a number one at Chick-fil-A. Love me some Chick-fil-A.
Do you have any pets? And if you do, what are their names?
I have one pet, and this is my first pet I've really ever had, and it's a poodle, and his name is Chief.
And I have a mini Aussie Poo who is, I think, 7 months old, and his name is Cash.
What job would you be bad at?
We were just having this discussion, and if it involved blood or anything medical, we would not be very good at.
We don't do blood, we don't do puke, we don't do any of that stuff.
What's the best way to start your day?
Sleeping in, waking up, and enjoying a cup of coffee on like my front porch or the back deck when nice weather.
Yeah, same. Just being able to sleep in past 5:30, enjoying my cup of coffee before my kids wake up, scrolling, watching some TikTok.
What's the luckiest thing to happen to you?
Well, most recently, I won tickets to Fun Farm and a gift card to Tres Omare on Mix 93.3.
The luckiest thing that's ever happened to me, I kind of feel like I don't really have that much luck. I would guess that I always wanted to have a boy and girl, and I got a boy and girl, so maybe that's my luckiest thing that's ever happened.
And for the final question, what's your goal in life?
Goal life is to someday be able to retire and travel the world.
Yeah, I want to be able to retire and maybe live in Florida, somewhere south where it's warm year-round.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You know Miss Gagline, right?
Yeah, she's my social studies teacher.
You know, she came back from a Boston Marathon not too long ago.
I do remember that. She told us her story at Impact a while ago. We gave her motivational signs and we saw her finish.
That's right. Let's go hear her story.
Yeah, I know Miss Gagline ran a marathon, but how far exactly is that?
So, a marathon is a 26.2 mile run. And for those who can't comprehend that, that is approximately 462 football fields. That's a far run. And the 8th grade teacher, Miss Gagline, has run several Boston Marathons.
The Boston Marathon is an annual marathon, usually held in April. But because of COVID, it was held in mid-October this year.
As we said before, the 8th graders made signs for Miss Gagline before her race. Also, we kind of saw her finish.
There she goes.
Now, let's go hear her story.
Hello, Eagles. Today I'm here with Miss Gagline, one of the 8th grade teachers here at South Valley. Before we get our interview started, let me give you some facts about the Boston Marathon. The Boston Marathon has an average of 30,000 runners. And guess who one of those winners are? Miss Cakeline. What part of your journey to Boston has stood out to you?
Okay, so my 8th graders know all about this, but my trip to Boston turned out to be kind of an epic adventure because our flight on the Saturday before the race is on Monday, got canceled. It was part of the Southwest cancellations from a few weeks ago. And so we had to completely scramble and plan a way to get to Boston. So just getting to Boston was an incredible adventure. The coolest part of our adventure was almost 2 minutes after getting off the train, walking on the streets of Boston, we come across Des Linden, who was or is my marathon hero, and she was just getting back from a training run. She was getting ready for the marathon as well. She won the Boston Marathon in 2018, and she was super cool. She let us take a picture with her. So all of that work turned out to be worth it.
What were your emotions prior to the race, during the race, and when the race was over?
Okay, so prior to the race, we were just so excited and relieved to be running the Boston Marathon. Usually I'm super nervous, but again, I was just so excited to be there. Kind of another funny story. At Boston, you load the buses at Boston Commons, and then they drive you out 26.2 miles, and that's where you start. So you run back to Boston. So our bus that was taking us, I have 2 good friends that were on the trip with me. Our bus got lost. Well, actually just took a wrong turn to get to the start line. So we actually had to walk 1.5 miles to get to the start line. So we were laughing at this point just because of all the things that had happened. So I wasn't as nervous as I normally was. And my friend and I just decided we are going to just have as much fun on this Boston Marathon as possible. We took our phones, we took pictures, we took videos. I gave high fives. I just tried to soak up the experience as much as I could. And it turned out that was a really good race strategy because I ran my fastest Boston Marathon, not my fastest marathon, but and it was just a really cool feeling to cross the finish line at Boston and knowing that we had not only had a great time, but we had ran a great time.
What were some of your goals for the race?
All right, so I had trained for the race, but I hadn't necessarily trained to run like a PR or personal best. So my goal for this Boston was to run my fastest Boston time. Boston is kind of a hard course, and in the years past we've had, in 2018, it was 40 degrees and windy and raining. And one year it was like 90 degrees and way too hot to be running a marathon. So I had pretty low goals, but this turned out to be a great day. I was hoping to be under 3 hours and 30 minutes, and I ran it in 3 hours and 28 minutes. So I was super excited about that. And so, yeah.
Last question. Is there anything about the race that you would have done differently?
That's a good question. Usually I have a ton of things that I would do differently over the course of 26.2 miles. There's always some decision like, oh, I should have had more water, or I should have had more fuel here or there. But I really tried to remember all of my previous races and all the things that I had done wrong. So I feel like, I mean, again, I didn't win the Boston Marathon, but I feel like it was one of my better races. I even felt really good afterwards, so I think I did a good job of hydrating and just really staying positive. And I think having good friends on my trip helped me as well. And I have to give a huge amount of credit to my 8th grade students. They made me feel like a rock star. They had made posters and signs for me, and I took pictures of them on my phone, and I went through them on the bus ride there, and on the plane ride and the train ride, and then just really welcomed me back. So I guess have 150 8th graders cheering for you is a really good thing. I guess I would just say, even though it maybe seems impossible to run a marathon, that before I ran my first Boston or any marathon, the farthest I'd ran was 6 miles. So if you just kind of set really small goals, you can reach really big goals. So don't be afraid of dreaming big.
Thank you, Ms. Gagline. Have you been keeping track of the Chiefs lately?
Not really. I kind of forgot they were on the team.
Yeah. Let's go to Camden and Jaden for a recap of the season so far.
Hello, Eagles. I'm Camden.
And I'm Jaden.
Do you like the Chiefs? Because I love them, but they're not doing too good this year.
Yes, I do, and I've been wondering what their games have been looking like this year.
Well, on Sunday they played the Titans, and the score was 30-27. We lost.
The Chiefs are doing so good this year. And on November 7th, they play the Packers.
I hope they win, but I don't have too high hopes.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do too well this season.
After that, on November 14th, they played the Raiders. So far this year, the Chiefs' record is 3 wins and 4 losses.
I don't think we're going to go to the Super Bowl this year.
No, I bet they make the best comeback of all time.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go interview some people.
My name is Cohen, and today I'm going to be asking you if the Chiefs is your favorite team, and if not, what other teams do you like? I root for the Chiefs, and I root for them because they're the Chiefs. Thank you. Hi, my name is Camden,
Hi, my name is Caden.
and I'm going to be asking you a question. So, who is the coach for the Chiefs? Who do you think?
Michael Jordan.
Good answer, thank you. Hi, I'm Camden.
And I'm Hudson.
And today we're going to be asking you a question. So, who is your favorite defensive Chiefs player?
Probably Eric Hosmer.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, it was a good reminder. I totally forgot what the score was for the past few games.
Yeah. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's broadcast.
I hope you guys enjoyed.
Have a wonderful Wednesday, South Valley.